Okay, I have finished making the length of our hat. And here is the ribbing on the bottom, and right above the ribbing is a row of double crochet. I'm going to count the rows that I've created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have a feeling that this is a lot extra, so it might actually be more of a slouchy style. I've taken the hook out and I've put the end of the thread through. I've left a lot of extra yarn, almost a yard of yarn. I'm going to use my yarn needle. I think the best ones are metal because they don't break and you can pretty much use them for the rest of your life. And they have a big eye, that's the hole at the top of the yarn needle. This is how to stitch the hat together. This is pretty good. The key to stitching the top of your hat together is just make some sort of a regular pattern. I'm going to go underneath 2 double crochets and above 2 double crochets and kind of weave my needle back and forth. Okay, so do that. But you have to know that the side that you are going to sew on is going to be the inside. So if you decide that you want this side to show, then flip the piece inside out, okay? So let me see which side I like the best. I kind of like this side, the inside for myself. So I'm going to continue stitching on the so-called good side of the double crochet, which is here. And that's the side that I can see all the lines of double crochet very distinctly. But I kind of like the inside better, so I'm going to go with that. Because I've never worn that side before. Okay, so I'm just going to go underneath the posts or these long pieces of double crochet and go under and over 2 at a time and work my way all the way around. Under 2, over 2, under 2, over 2. And I'm kind of weaving or like sewing through these 2 here. So, and this kind of reminds me of something else, that when people make sweaters and things like that for children with double crochet, they used to weave very fine satin ribbon through as kind of like a little decorative technique, and then they would put a little bow on the end or something like that. But it kind of looks a little childish, but if you're making something for a baby, I think that's very, very appropriate to actually use a woven ribbon detail in your work. But it just all kind of depends on your the age that you are making a piece for. So I'm back here, back at the beginning. So I'm going to use my yarn now to gather the top like this, and you can see it coming together. You also need the extra yarn to sew with. So you're going to stitch kind of across from where the yarn ended. You're going to go across this way. So if this yarn here is at 6 o'clock, you're going to cross over to 12 o'clock and you're going to put some sewing that way and just kind of loop it around a couple times. So this is to make sure that the hat does not fall apart. So I'm going to do that a few times. So I'm going to go from 6 to 12 and then kind of loop it around. Here we go. If you pull it hard, you won't even see that line of stitching. So I'm doing that 3 times. And then I'm going to go from 3 to 9 o'clock, so from right to left, and then maybe in between those 3 positions, just so that my piece doesn't fall apart, I'm going to go in and then come back out at the 9 o'clock position like this. So I'm going to go up and down and kind of go round and around with my needle and with my yarn and sew. And then I'm going to go left to right and sew a loop of yarn. And this is just so that the top of the head part that you gathered doesn't fall apart later. Just makes everything extra secure. There we go. And then we're going to do another loop just to make sure. See, this is not that hard. And then I'm going to start in here at around maybe like 10 or something like that, between 10 and 11, that position. And then I'm going to go across the other way to like 4, between 4 and 5. So just crisscrossing and kind of like making a little star shape configuration with my yarn needle and my yarn. And I'm kind of sewing for added security so that the top here doesn't open up later. So I'm just going to loop it 2 or 3 times in each position, and then I'm going to do it one more time at like the 1 o'clock position, 1 to 7 position or something like that. Okay, and then that's it. And then I'm going to flip the hat inside out, because that's the direction. That's the side that I want to wear the hat. Okay, so let me just do this one more time. After this time, like that, and pull very tight each time. So this is the way you close up the top of the hat. If you do it, if you make a hat in this style where you're just like creating a cylinder shape, and then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to, okay, and then I'm just going to somehow knot it to itself. I'm going to go like this, maybe go under 2 pieces or a little bunch of thread there, like that, and then with my needle create a loop and then put the needle through there to make a knot like that. And then do that maybe one more time so it doesn't fall out. Make another knot in the same place like that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my needle a little closer because I don't need a huge tail. And I'm going to cut like a 5 or 6 inch piece of yarn, and I am going to hide the tail of this yarn in here somewhere. Just go in and out and in and out. Just hide that in there, because you should never cut right near a knot ever. Whenever you crochet, you want to always leave a tail and just kind of weave it into your crochet pattern. And if it's the same color yarn, of course, throughout your work, you're not going to see that piece of yarn that you're hiding in there. And I'm just going around in a circle like that. So if ever the piece did come apart, you would have all this extra yarn so that you can just kind of crochet and repair where the piece is falling apart. That's why you leave this little tail. It's the reason why you do that. So, okay, I think that's good enough. Then I cut it close to my hat, but don't cut the hat. And so it looks like this at the top. Now I'm going to flip the piece around, and it looks like this on the other side. So I have a head length, I think, of like around 20, maybe over, a little over 22 inches. And the hat should fit. So I'm going to put the hat on now. the hat on, it covers over most of my ear. It feels very warm and cozy, and I could just wear it like this, or I could put a pom-pom on top of the hat, which will make it more playful. So the next video I'm going to make is I'm going to show you how to make a furry or fuzzed out pom-pom.